Get your drinks, your snacks, go to the bathroom now while you can. It's going to be a long show, so we got a little time while we're doing the intro here. Might want to say a prayer or two before the show for strength and endurance. Not good when it's coming up out of the sewer. We're going to talk about a new effect that I captured today, too. We're talking about thunderstorms that are produced by heat from a dormant volcano. Also, Houston, Texas got slammed today with quite the storm, a tornado. And this is Milan, Italy, as you can see. It's happening all over the planet, so it's not just America, it's happening all over. And if you saw the thumbnail, you'll know what's causing all this. yes, it will be very interesting tonight. That might be the last time you see that bridge. All right, howdy folks, welcome back. I told you I would be back. Yeah, that's how my audience feels. I get sick every time I have to come on. All right, so I got it freeze framed here. You can't really see it too well, but let me just darken this a little bit. Okay, we have our round object right there, and then another one back behind it here. Okay, and we'll go through that frame by frame here in a minute, but there's our thumbnail, and hopefully you can see our object being silhouetted. This is plasma going around the very edge of it right here. It's being split and going across the front of this sphere that's right there. Okay, and this one's going to be tricky. It's a little hard to see, but when we get there, it'll point it out a little bit better. So for the moment, let's just pull back from that. Get you guys all set up here, brighten up the screen a little bit. All right, and then start our loop going forward. All right, so here we are, May 16th, 2024, and there's our loop playing, and we'll just kind of let that play real quick. We've got a skipping data there, so not much to really see during the, excuse me here, during the opening here in this loop, but we're gonna, whoops, sorry, I keep banging the soda on the mount here. All right, we're gonna get to that frame and start zooming in on a couple of these frames here. So let's catch our event. All right. Okay, so here we are towards the, well, we're at 1012 here. And then as we progress forward, now we got to jump to 1848. All right, so from 1024 to 1848, well, 8 hours and a little over 8 hours worth of data missing. This frame's all scrubbed, but you can see there's a little bit of action in it. But what we're going to focus on is, since this frame is scrubbed, there's activity going on over here. All right, now it's going to be a little hard to see here, so I'm going to try my best to try to capture this. First off, it's kind of best seen when pulled back a little bit like this, but let's see if I can slide it over. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to dim this down because it's so bright. All right about there is good. Now what I'm going to try to do here is not too much. Right about there. Okay, so we have a bigger object, black spheroid right here. All right, the plasma is draping over the front edge right here and splitting and going in front of it right here. You can see there's a little planetoid right here with its own little magnetic field. Now the arch of this circle goes back through here and down. It's this object right here with a secondary one back behind it. You'll see this plasma reaching out to the second one, And this is draping over our first one, all right? And it's right here. Now what I'm going to try to do here is take you a frame, our next frame here. Okay, let's see here. We're going to capture this correctly here. Scoot it up just a tad bit more. All right, it's kind of hard to see. So this half of the sphere is in shadow. The sphere is right there. It goes past this blue line. It's that faint white circle right there is the edge of the sphere. This whole spheroid right there. Now, if you turn your head to the left about 45 degrees, you'll see the plasma flowing over it. You see the curvature on the backside here. Try to get this just right. Okay, so there's your circle. There's your planetoid right there. Let me dim this a little bit. I think it's too bright. Now, tilt your head 45 degrees to the left, to your left shoulder. That's your, for those of you know, your right from your left. And here's our object. It's right there with this little moon right here in front of it. Okay. And this plasma is draping over it and silhouetting our object right there. What I want to try to do now is scooch it over this way. This side doesn't capture it too well. There's a glitch in the data. They put a cube right here and it disrupts everything. So it makes that circular shape hard to see, but I think it might be on the very next frame here. Okay. Here's your black spherical object right here with plasma going in front of it. Can you see that? What I'm going to try to do now is it's actually better viewed from out because we're too close into it. So let me try doing it that way. Now, do you see the black sphere right here? Big black sphere with another little moon right in front of it. And this plasma cut in half, some going in front of it and the other going on the edge of it. These things are very, very hard to see. They bend light. They're very tricky. It's basically trying to see something invisible. All right, but there it is. You can see it in the flow asymmetries. And like I said, if you tilt your head to the left here, kind of look at this black and white side, you'll see that this is the face of a big, right here, this is the face of that spheroid. Plasma's hitting it, spreading around it. Actually, maybe we do this, just a tip. Whoops. Sorry, I have to keep doing this until we capture it. It's very hard to see. That one right there with its moon, and then a secondary one back behind it. All right, so that's a bigger object right there. Let me try to, it doesn't seem to be capturing it very well here, so let me try one other thing here. Okay, so you see this plasma streak right here? This one that's kind of bending. They put a cube in it. It's actually kind of arcing like this, going over it. Watch when you see how this CME is arcing over the sphere right here? The rest is kind of down here in shadow, but you can see this effect happening right there on the edge. Let me go back a frame, or the next frame right there. Right here on the edge, this hot plasma going around the, here's the circle, the spheroid right there. So it's draping around one side, just like that's kind of draping over it a little bit right there. I'm going to try to do something else a little bit. We're gonna go beyond dimensions. We're going to zoom out now. Now can you see it? Tilt your head to the left. That spheroid right there. Maybe that's one dimension back too far, right there, maybe. All right. Anyways, they're very, very elusive, and what looks just like a regular CME, but I seen this split in it, and I'm like, oh, what's splitting that? And then I look, and I can see it right in there. And what we can try to do now, I want to try something real quick here. Well, we got it like that. We pull this. There we go. Now you can kind of see it right there. You can see where the light's splashing on it. The rest of it is right there. Whoops. Where's my pointer? So you can see our spheroid right here, and the stuff splashing over it and spreading out and going around it right there. All right. Hopefully you guys are able to see that when I did that. It's kind of like the reverse image, or the negative kind of makes the other faint highlights in the background pop a little bit more, so you can see the actual shape of the object. Okay, so now that we see it, or you see the silhouette effect that drapes around this object, let's continue. Ooh, what? Right there. And you can see it's a little moon. Like I said, tilt your head to the left. And you can almost see like the bands that run across this spheroid right here. Let's try that a little bit better. You can see little moons. Okay, so what looks over here, because everybody looks at the light, right? You just see this V shape, or these little spires. You don't see anything really, but they're sneaky, they're elusive, and you can tell by the flow. The this arching flow, the way it spreads out for this object. All right, look, here's the spread for the bigger object. All right, down here and up there. This right here is the spread for this little smaller one. Can you see that effect? Try going right about there. Maybe that's a little bit better. And some of the other moons interfere with the CME too, kind of make it wavy and change up a little bit. All right, so hopefully you guys were able to see what most people can't. Okay, and since they can't see it, they believe it doesn't exist and that all this activity is because of something else. All right, but you can clearly see the object itself, magnetic field, is latching onto the sun, drawing plasma off of it. The plasma is draping around the object, silhouetting it, and painting a round spheroid object, much like we had in this event right here. This is the event from September 10th of 2017, when when God showed me this, the dragon standing before the woman. So here we had our event happen again, and it could be just another object moving by, and we didn't get the whole thing. So we caught it midway. Whoops, right there. And what I want to do is just kind of put that in motion here. I'm going to slow it down just for that last event so you can see the motion of it just a tad bit better. Ooh, you know what we can do? I got a better idea. Where to put the movie? Now, here, let's slow that down. Even slower. All right, so there's your big event right there. Now let's come on over to the solar ham. And look, a lot less red here. That's good. The proton event is lowering. We're still showing some right here on the D layer, but it's not up at 99% anymore. X flares dropped to 10. That might change. Our indices are still in the red, okay, even though it looks like we've lowered out and calmed down a little bit here. That's still, we just dealt with the big one right there. You saw it, right? And just because they don't snap off a big old CME, like that object was this or something today, right? So they're sneaky. Okay, so there you go, 10%. Everybody breathe sigh of relief. Let's pray that it stays that way. Okay, nice and quiet for a minute while the planet absorbs all this. Our geomagnetic forecast for the next 3 days is in the green. All right, here's all of our sunspots right here. 82 and 79 are the ones I was concerned about. They were beta gamma delta earlier. They've kind of receded a little bit to beta gamma. That's good. But we still have a fair number of sunspots, and a lot of them are still volatile. Okay. And here's our KP. This is the little event that we were talking about last night. We saw a little yellow on the auroras. That means we took in a little energy, and it hit KP6 right there. So not too bad. Quick little blast of energy that we absorbed. So before all this leaves the screen here, we still have that big old chunk that we absorbed, this little burp right here, and then nothing for a while, and now just another little small bump right there. Now, after looking at the Schumann and seeing some of the activity that I've seen, I think maybe we have vented all of this energy pretty decently. So I think maybe our chances of a big quake are lessening each day now. Okay, the less energy we take in, and the further we get away from this event. Also, the fact that on our Schumann, when we go there, you'll see that before it's off the map here, we had this big fluctuation of spikes where energy or the pressure builds up and then decreases. It builds up, decreases, builds up, decreases, builds up, decreases. So we did have this very staggered energy release. Okay, which to me, I guess that's probably it right there, because ever since we've been running pretty smooth. This is good. We need this for a minute. Everybody could use a break from all the intense activity. As you can see, it got a little weak in that zone right there, but still around. Okay, got nice and healthy in there. A little weakness. Now you can see we're starting to go into a little grinding event here, or you can see pressure's building and it's starting to grind slightly. All right, but we'll come back to that. So a little bit of energy came in, not much, not too bad. And if we can handle this chunk right here, this is nothing. Okay, so it's good. Right now, currently, auroras are nice and faint. See, here, I'll even pop that open. Okay, so they're pretty good. Now, let me just take a sip and get into this article really quick. So, newly assigned region AR 3685, the source of the X 2.9 solar flare on Wednesday, continues to move into view. It is still too close to the limb to make a proper analysis of the magnetic layout, but we will get a better look as we head into the weekend. The region has only managed minor C flares and one low-level M flare since the big flare yesterday. Okay, this bad boy coming around the limb right here, and you can see a little bit of its magnetic complexity here, the blues and the reds getting really close to each other. Okay, so last time when we saw a configuration similar to this, when it rotated around Earth direction, it turned into a complex. It wasn't just a few sunspots. It turns into these complex with multiple sunspots. All right, so right now you can see it. It's decent size, I'd say. Nothing to, laugh at. So let's all take this seriously. We saw what the last one could do. All right, so the region has been managed. Okay. Stay tuned for various regions that produce minor C flares. Okay, so we got that done. Today, the 16th, the moderate G2 geomagnetic storm is in progress. Okay, so the BZ component, if the interplanetary magnetic field is currently pointing south, and there was a small increase in solar wind speed a little earlier this morning. So this is possibly related to a CME observed on May 13th, brushing past our planet. Visible aurora will be possible at higher latitudes if it is still dark outside. Okay, so what I want to show you, let's go back up to this, pull this open real quick. Just take a little peek under the hood here. So here's our region rotating into view right here, this big rash area. This one we got to watch out for as well. 3679 is facing us. This one's starting to, it's not too serious, but They are there. Okay, so 74, 79, and 85 are all three regions that are, in our strike zone here. This is rotating around, it's going to be our next monster to deal with. So everybody just hang on, and hopefully the planet will do the same thing, and we can absorb some and vent that energy properly. All right, so let's do a little tracking real quick. They're still showing that big blast going that way, and not much really on this one. This is just that little solar wind band, I think, hitting us, so we could save some time there. You know what? Let's just check in case. Wanted to see something else here. What their timing for this event is. So a little increase in energy between 16th and 17th here. Let me just pull this up. Just want to see if it's a wave or if it's just this arm coming off. Oh, just getting sideswiped by that one. Just a brush. A little bit closer of a sideswipe on that second one. Remember, sometimes these sideswipe ones, we think are not going to do anything, and it's just a chance of a G1, and they're the ones that surprise. All right, so just be aware, possible surprise maybe around there. Let's pray it just stays small and sideswipes us. Okay, here's your north-south profile cut. Watch that one more time too, because that has a lot to do with it too. If it totally, see, there's still a little bit clipping us from both. So we are just going to catch trailing edge. We'll see what happens. Thank God it's not a big old X5 right to the face. Okay, so that's a lot better. Any of this stuff we can handle. Okay. All right, so there's your tracker. Track-a-lackin'. Coming up for solar cycle 23. Okay, that was the article. Yeah. Interesting article on the guy. You should go read it. Okay, here we are. Auroras in Colorado this morning. Surprise! Auroras in Colorado this morning. A late arriving CME hit Earth's magnetic field on the 16th, sparking a moderate G2 class geomagnetic storm. Witnesses the red afterglow of the CME's impact from Colorado. The storm subsided a few hours after it began and is over now. Rare South Pacific auroras confirm great storm on the South Pacific island of New Caledonia. No one expects to see auroras ever, but situated halfway between Tonga and Australia, the cigar-shaped island is too close to the equator for southern lights. Yet on May 10th, 2024, this happened. So May 10th was definitely a great storm, declares naked eye auroras sightings in New Caledonia. Now, Munster sunspot targets Mars. There's the backside of the sun from Mars, and there's 64 still there, kind of making its way back around. So let's just pray it doesn't give us any more headaches. All right, let's get on over back to the Schumann here. Like I said, you can see we're pumping along pretty small, pretty good. You can see it's starting to glow green, a little brighter throughout the whole thing, and you can see a little scraping up there. So we're starting to get some pressure built up again, and it's on the verge of starting to maybe squeak or grind a little bit. So let me just refresh that. Yeah, you can see in this refresh, there's just a little bit of red and orange starting to build in the middle here. So it looks like we're currently starting to build pressure as we speak. Okay, so we did that. We did that. Let's come on over here. Here's our jet stream, our upper jet stream for right now. And look at these things spinning out here. It's going to be some storms right there. All right. Anyways, this is your upper jet going across the south, coming up into the mid east, or the middle of the East Coast right there. Pacific Northwest, spreading out now. It just fans out all the way down to like Mexico, all the way up into Canada. It just turns into this big like broom type effect or whatever, like the end of a broom, and just fans out all this energy. A lot of it some of it makes it around this little knob and it gets caught up in there. So cold air, still a little section of it being pulled up here between between California and New Mexico. So going right down through Arizona here is this cold air peel off, and it's colliding with that warm air. So there's going to be a little hot cocktail made right around there possibly too. All right, so there is the upper. Let's get to your lower jet. Okay, you can still see the correlation. We have these big storms out here rotating. Meanwhile, this Pacific Northwest feed coming in, still kind of spreading out and fanning out across the country. Our southern fetch coming right along the shores of the Gulf Coast right there. Now let's drop down to the weather right here. Here's this big old storm out here. Now, Pacific Northwest, this stuff is coming in. For right now, this storm's rotation is keeping it going along the coastline. But you'll see cold air coming in here, and this moist, warm air. There's something weird. This is the main fetch from down here, from the Gulf Coast. But there seems to be something right in here stirring wind up and kicking it up into there. So meanwhile, we have this big storm off the coast there. So it's this big storm. Actually, right here, it's the tail of this little storm up here. So we have a little storm front here and another storm front right there. And with these orbs and what they're doing with the weather, no telling what could happen on any day now, really. Now, let's come back to the, where do I go? Oh, yeah. To our sandstorms here. And you can see how Africa, this is all just one big sand plume, most of North Africa. The white shows the intensity of it. Now it's circulating, sand up into the Mediterranean. This big old rotation right here, taking stuff right over the, Mediterranean here. That's a big old plume of sand. Got a little bit going on over here, but this one has grown now in size over the Gobi Desert here. And this camera really doesn't like this color too much. What I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to take it to 10 microns. And you can see it correlates pretty much with the sand. Still particulates in the air. All right, so it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And you can also see how it's been blown across here. You see our wind levels. See how the Gulf Coast, the actual shape of the Gulf, has collected this stuff, pocketed it up. It's going to send it all up into the United States here. It's going to go right up through that thing. And go back to the yellow. It's not as intense as the red, but you can see there's that plume right there. Let me take the wind out again. Sorry, I'm all over the place tonight. But you can see a little bit of the sand coming in from all the way across the Atlantic, coming up here and starting to enter the United States. right in that area. All right, so crazy sandstorm been going on since November of last year, all the way through the winter time. We're going all the way through spring. It'll go all the way through summer, guaranteed, if it did this long. So we're going to have us a year-long sandstorm in North Africa. Same with this. This has been going on for a long time, too. All right, let's pull back. Sorry, my voice is a little raspy today. Chemicals, go to the SO2. Come on over here. Okay, where'd my pointer go? As you can see, we got a country divided here. One side's bleeding out, and the other side's a little patchy and clearing up. Funny how it does it every time, huh? And look at this. This looks like a big old cyclone out there just spinning away. Whoops. With the gas caught up in it. That's crazy. All right, now back to business here. You see some of these gray patchy areas right here? We still have flooding in those regions, plugging up the little holes and perforations in the ground, keeping that gas from escaping. Okay, so a little bit of flooding still in that region. Something I want to talk about while we're at this juncture right here. Okay, so let's see if this will fill in. I live along the crest of the Sierras, and looking down today, I could see down here by Mammoth some activity going on. So, an activity, I mean, as in a thunderstorm, and I'll pull this up real quick on my channel here. Please, Lord, have my channel. I wasn't thinking about pulling this up. I should have this set up. Hang on just a second, though. I wanted to show you. How about my channel? Okay, you see this thunderhead right here? This thunderhead was the only one around. There was no thunderstorms anywhere. We had cold, cool winds today. There shouldn't have been any kind of convection at all. And this huge towering blossom formed over Mammoth Mountain. There's heat coming out of the mountain. I don't think this is ash or anything, but at one point it was very, very tall. And if you look over here, you can see this is the anvil right here. That's the ceiling or the cap, okay? So there was a cap that ran across the sky. This boiled up, hit the cap, and anviled out. But when the sun went down, the convection continued, and it busted through the cap. So we had some other type of convection post sundown. Well, this is when everything's supposed to drop out of the sky, and this is still boiling and convecting. Everything else should have been done by then. And you can see part of it had finished off. It anviled out, and it was like that would have been the end of it right there. But this kept going and going and going and going. And it looked, when I first looked at it, it looked like a volcanic blast. And I went, what the heck? But then I checked, and no, it's not. But then I looked on my weather app, and this storm did not move. We had a windy day today, and this storm should have traveled the direction of the wind. But it did not move. Everything else that came out of it moved downwind. So there was a heat plume in this area, causing the cold air coming over to hit this hot air column going up, because stuff was just roiling and going way up high. It busted right through the cap. And I was like, wait a second, that is not natural. So I took a few pictures of it, and I'm thinking what I just witnessed here is a new weather phenomenon created by the heat in the ground at this volcano down here. All right, pressure is built along there, and I watched a couple of other mountains glow today. All right, along the Sierra Crest. Some other ones lit up. This one lit up pretty good, and some other ones started to glow a little bit on the heat map. And let me take you real quick. Right here is where our area is, right where this yellow dot is. There's no SO2 coming out of the area because it's not volcanic, okay? It's just the clouds convecting, but there's a hot spot right there, right where the cloud, and this cloud structure formed there yesterday and was very tall and alone at the end of the day. And then today, when I saw the same activity in the same region, I thought, wait, that's odd. 2 days in a row. And then as I looked around, there was no other convection around. So I think what we're starting to see is this heat down below, the pressure down below is pushing gas out, right? Well, the gas causes, heat at the surface, and we're seeing little spot fires. This pressure also comes up underneath dormant volcanoes, creates a hot spot. All right, there's no fire there, it's a hot spot. And when the cold air comes rushing over this hot column of air that just shoots straight up, right? Where's that picture again? Right in the middle is just this vortex of hot air shooting straight up like that. The air hits it and just starts roiling and curling and boiling over this hot column of air. And it's coming out of the volcano down there at Mammoth. You guys. So a little warning to people in California. Where am I at? Beware, we have some activity. I saw convective weather activity over a volcano where there shouldn't have been any weather. Okay, that tells me heat is coming out of the ground there. Like I said, a hot column of air is coming up, shooting straight up, and cause the cool air rushing over the Sierras to all just convect at that one spot. So we got a new weather phenomena as well to look out for, and a new way of indicating, or a possible indicator of volcanoes about to erupt. Okay, when I saw that, to me, it looked like a sign, like, hey, that looks like a volcano going off down the way. And then when I saw it was just weather, still, it's like hint that weather was caused by something. It was caused by a heat plume coming out of that area. So everybody along the, Cascades or the Sierras, watch out, because see this whole today along the foothills, gas came out of the foothills. Just this big plume of gas ran down the foothills right there, and then we had that convective thunderstorm, very violent convectivity. This picture right here does not do it justice. I got a couple others that might be a little bit better. I got some where I zoomed in and ones where I pulled back so you could see how alone it is in the whole sky. And I'll post some of those other ones too. Did you guys see this? I'll show it to you in a little while. All right, so new weather phenomenon from heat coming out of a dormant volcano. I think that area is about to see earthquakes and activity because I've seen this 2 days in a row. Maybe I'm wrong, but there was nothing else going on around. And there shouldn't have been. Something different there. Anyways, let's get back to this now. So our SO2, there's pressure down below, okay? And any little spot that's an old dormant volcano fault line could possibly have a little bit of activity over it, around it. Or now watch for convective, out of place convective activity happening at a spot where it shouldn't. Also, we look up here. Here's SO2 coming out of the ground. Another hot spot right there. We saw the other day a bunch of fires in the region too. So there's some over there corresponding with that one. Okay, real quick, let's come down here. Our fulcrum point, pretty dark. The other one's kind of darkening up a little bit. Looks like we still have a little pressure going on here. Why is the eastern half of the U.S. purple? Okay, let's go back over it again. This is SO2, sulfur dioxide. Okay, let me put it right there. Chemicals. All right, sulfur dioxide right here is the gas that surrounds the magma down below. Okay, the pressure pushing outward from the inside of the planet outward is pushing magma up against the underside of the crust. There's gas in between the magma and in the crust as well, and the pressure pushes the gas out through these little holes in the ground. Any kind of little sand trickle way air could go down, trickle through sand, water can go down through sand like this and make a pathway where the gas is air now. It can escape through all these different little channels and come up to the surface, right? And what you're seeing, the purple denotes the intensity of the gas, all right? Down here is none. The middle is like neutral right here. And then the darker you go, the more gas that's coming out. Now, the more gas that's coming out means there's pressure down below pushing that gas out. So when we come over here, I'm looking at the color. I'm looking how dark the color is to see how much pressure we have. It's an indicator whether pressure has been relieved or if it's building or if we have high or low pressure. Now, the reason why it's split down the middle like this is because that half of the nation sucks. No, I'm joking. Look, we have a continental divide with mountain range right here. We also have the tectonic plates, the actual what's the term I'm thinking for it? What's it called? Help me, Lord. The main landmass that runs through here. I'll think of it in a minute. But anyways, there just happens to be looser ground over on this side. It's not all dense and packed full of mountains and everything and, really dense material. This side over here, the ground is a lot looser. It's not so dense and mountainous and stuff. There are some mountains that run through there, but it just happens to be where the gas is pushing out of the ground the most. All right. And there's specific little areas you can see are more intense than others. They have a bigger hole in the balloon, in the skin of the balloon. What you're looking at is a bunch of holes in the skin of the earth. Okay. And the blood from the earth, literally the SO2 gas, looks purple on this map, but imagine the blood from the earth squeezing out through all these little pinholes that are in the crust. Now, as we go down, we can see that it's pretty dark in that region. It's also releasing pressure in that area. So when you see it dark, there's a lot of pressure there, but it's also releasing a lot. So look at that round feature. Are you kidding me? I'm not even going to go there right now. Look at this. There's another one right there. One right there. We got other factors in our weather. There's more going on here. All right, let's get on over here. I want to take off the fires. Okay, so China has got it the worst. They're like a big purple bruise on the face of the planet, all right? A lot of SO2 coming out of that region. There's a lot of pressure down below. They don't have a lot of volcanoes and a lot of fault lines and stuff like that. So the pressure that builds underneath that part of the world, comes out through their perforations. And they got a lot of SO2 coming out of the ground over there. And you can see the darker patches are more intense, and we got spots that are black. Okay, that's the highest on the chart. And this is coming out of the ground. This isn't from pollution. All right, this is actual SO2 that's surrounding magma down below, and it's bleeding out all over the planet. Like I said, a few years back, there were 4 tiny little dots. These little dots like this, bing, 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 these little guys. 4 tiny little dots running down the coast of California here, and BP Earthwatch pointed it out, I think it was. And everybody was like, oh my God, it's the big one, it's going to happen. And, it got a lot of attention, and the world took notice and, stopped. And for a minute, the world didn't stop, but everybody kind of stopped for a minute and took notice of what was going on there. It was a big deal back then. Now, we're bleeding out. Nobody bats an eye. It's just so odd how everything is just totally backwards and upside down. I mean, it wasn't even that long ago either. How quick we forget. All right, so there's your SO2 report. Now, also going on is our surface water temperature anomalies. Okay, and we have hot spots all over the place. Look at this cold little pool that is right next to this hot spot. That is so weird. Watch me put the current on there. Yeah, look how it goes right up into it and then diverts around it. The actual cold spot makes its own current, or the hot water does, one of the two, and they actually divide and rotate around each other. It's very interesting. Huh. Anyways, we got big old plume of hot water growing here from either a volcanic vent on the floor of the ocean, or we got heat rising, making the surface, the bottom of the ocean floor hot. Okay. And all of these, this is Tamumasi, the biggest volcano on the face of the planet, coming to life underneath the water. Nobody knows about it. They're all watching all the volcanoes on the surface, right? Meanwhile, this monster's coming to life under there. And now something new. This whole area started to reach over here and get a little red, and then it turned a little orange and grew a little bit in size. Now it's bigger than this area, and it's got yellow in it as well, all right? So a lot of pressure, a lot of hot water in this area. And this is not normal. I want to show you what your regular temperature water should look like. Okay? There's your warmer waters down there. That's where your hot water is. Look over here at Japan. Purple denotes the warmer. Let me pull up the color chart. See, purple to white is the hotter. So blue and green, cold water. Even green to yellow, all right? So up here at Japan, we're blue to green, yellow, right in there, right? Well, when we come over to this map, that's all hot water right there. So that's wrong. That's something wrong. We're seeing hot water in that region. Now look you see how this ribbon of warm water reaches up from this region and goes up Japan and reaches north, right? Okay, then there it is. You see it? You see how it matches? Okay, watch this. We'll put the currents on it. Wait a second. That's not flowing down. That's flowing up. It's not hot water coming down from there. It's hot water that runs along the whole coast and reaches a really hot spot up there. So when we come back to this, you can see, actually, this is starting to correlate now. But we don't have this big old plume of hot water up here. Well, actually, it's starting to. Just odd how it's all coming from this region, but this region isn't hot like this is. Now, when we go back, this region is hotter than that, right? So it makes it look like all this hot water, right? It makes it look like all this hot water is being fed up into there, right? So let's go back. The water in this region is cooler than that water. Do you see what I'm saying? Whatever's happening in this region right here is now affecting this map as well. And it's actually drawing this warm water up this current. Huh. Starting to correlate, though. That's interesting. So back to our surface temperature anomalies. Now, all this hot water flowing through this thing does not cause this big old patch out there for sure. And the water coming off of this goes through, cooler. It's not hot as hot. So it's not feeding this. All right. We have issues underneath the ocean floor. And there are deep water creatures, bottom dwellers that are getting shoved up higher in the water column. They're searching for cooler water. And let me show you what I'm talking about there. Of course, after an ad, right? Yeah. It's captured off an oil rig in the Pacific. Yep. Whoops. Because of hot water down below. And it's happening all over the place. Look at South America, or the southern part of the planet got little spots as well. Because pressure down below is expanding outward and it's looking for, perforations in the crust. We're seeing activity, SO2 emit from land, right? That SO2 is hot. That SO2 can come out of the ground under the water and emit, gas pockets that are hot that heat up the water in that area. So all this water in this area is being heated thermally from underneath. All right. And like I said, it's taking some of these creatures and bringing them up to the surface, and you're going to see some strange stuff come up here pretty soon. Stuff you didn't know existed. Stuff they kind of warned you about in the movies. Kind of so it wouldn't be such a shock when you see the real thing. It's echolocating. Bigger animals tend to use echolocation for hunting, navigating. So we're going to see some strange side effects now because this is continuing to happen and it's just continuing to spread. So we have pockets over here in the Indian Ocean as well. That one kind of died down a little bit. Okay, now moving on. Oh, here, still off of Africa. We need to watch Canary Islands as well. So everybody just be alert. Keep your head on a swivel. Know what to look for and what to expect. And like today, when I was looking down the valley, and I saw this strange all by itself. Very violent, very tall, and I saw the cap forming, and I thought, okay, it's all good, it's capped off. And then when it punched through the cap, a tornado type storm would punch through the cap like that. Okay, so as soon as it did that, I was like, oh, something's different about this, something's wrong. And it's because the heat down below, even when the cold air and the sun's going down, all this should have disappeared. It was still violently convecting. I thought it was going to blow. I was just waiting to see gray plume shoot up through it. And I was going to be like, all right, time to grab the fire extinguisher and go. So now let's come on over to our earthquake activity. Please, Lord, can we have the Jeep? All right. Now, here we go in our deep quake region. We've had a couple. We've had a 4.4 down at 420. Okay, that's mid-range 4 that we're used to seeing. Here's a 4.9 or a 5, as we refer to them on this channel, down at 579. So we have seen a slight uptick down below. 4.5 is usually what we see, kind of like that one. But this is just a click higher. It's down at 579, so that indicates, no, I'm north of Bishop, up by more like Gardnerville, Carson City area. So anyways, deep quake finally right here, 579, and then nothing at the surface through the upper part of the system, nothing on the surface down through the bottom part. So energy has, hit the bottom, and now we're starting to see deep quakes coming up. We have right here a 4.4 down at 106. Look how quiet this whole region is. Look. All of this area right here has 3 earthquakes. Up here at Japan, we have a mid-range 4 down at 72. On the other plate of Japan, we have a 4.6 down at 52. A couple of mid-range 4s. A little odd quake out here in China. We have a 4.1 at the surface. There's something relieving pressure there at the surface. That's good. Look how quiet this whole region is. Oddly quiet, isn't it? I think we have like our magnetic suppression event still kind of going, maybe. 4.6 down at 37. Very quiet up through there. Here at the Juan de Fuca, we had a 2.7. All right. Our big quake on the Juan de Fuca is a 2.7. Down here by the geysers, they're probably going off. Here's a 2.5 Prattville. And now what I will be monitoring here, one day on magnitudes, is our region down here at Mammoth. There's Tom's Place, just a 1.6 right now, but I want to see 7-day all magnitudes in this range. So I'm up by this way, and it's down here. Well, I'll take all this stuff off of there. hang on, I'm just kind of searching around here. There's Mammoth Lakes, Tom's Place, and then today's quake was right there. Okay, I'm just kind of seeing the activity in that region, see if there's a small quake swarm or anything going on like that before we have, before we get an explosion here. You might want to do the same thing. You see, activity down the mountain range from where you live, possibly. Check this. Make sure there's no activity. All right, this is all small stuff. All right, so we're good. We're good there. A couple small ones down here, being 4.7 and a 4.1. Nothing along the mid-Atlantic ridge. Very quiet. This whole map is eerily quiet. Okay. That's it there. Now, please, Lord, let the volcano page work. All right, so already into the 17th now. Let's just dive on in here. So Chivaluge, 10,000 feet. Ebico, this is what it looked like at first down the valley. No other clouds in the sky. There's no weather around, and you see something like that growing out of a mountain. And I'm thinking, that better be a cloud. So it was a convective thunderhead that was very, you can see that heat is driving straight up like this, right? It's not going out to the sides. You could see that the blossoming head up here, that heat was driving this thunderhead and fueling it. This is just a volcano, but it was a very similar shaped cloud that made me think it was a volcano until I looked, and then I realized, wait a second, it's a convective thunderhead over the volcano. So this is Ebico, back to this at 9,000 feet. Ibu, no, I'm not going to risk it. 9,000 out of Ducono, Popocatépetl 19, Concepcion, Nicaragua. We have a new one, folks. Add Concepcion. Oh my goodness. Is he making fun of me or what? Concepcion is Spanish for concept. And we've been talking about grasping concepts here at this channel. And how funny that Concepcion, 18,000 feet. All right, let's read a little bit about Concepcion. Explosive activity continues. Warned about, and a volcanic ash plume rose up to 18,000 feet. Flight level moving. I thought they might have more. Reventador, 15,000. Sabancaya, unable to detect. So let's get into the 16th here. Again with Ibu, 21,000 feet. See how this doesn't look like a normal cloud? Yeah, you can tell it's a volcanic plume. Imagine if it was in white, not in ash, but a cloud that just totally, with this structure, it looks like an atomic bomb, not a thunderhead. So back to Ebico here, 9,000 feet. A stronger than usual Ibu. Okay, that one was 10,000 feet, I think. Ducono was 9. Popo, 19. Concepcion, 18. Maybe we'll come back to a full report. Reventador, 15. Sabancaya. I want the list. No list. So our new volcano here, Concepcion in Nicaragua. Explosive activity continues. 18,000 feet altitude flight level. They got it in green, even though it erupted. So now it's a minor activity. 3 out of 5. So it'll be on the minor active list. But we have a new player on the game. I was telling you, it could be any of these dormant volcanoes, or ones that we see making higher blasts, or it could be a new one, because there's always something new. It's I know how God works. Right when you think it's going to be an earthquake, it's a flood. When you think it's going to be a fire, it's a tornado. It's just weird. Always something different. So I had a feeling it'd be a different volcano, and here it is, Concepcion. Now that I have to add that one to our list and keep reporting on this one now. And this is a sign of that pressure being released right there. Come back here, you. Right now. I want this right now. This right here. There's part of it right there. And I was telling you, I don't think that's enough. We could see a new volcano. And bingo, our new volcano. Right there. This, I bet you, Concepcion, the concept worked, and it relieved that pressure. 18,000 feet out of a brand new volcano? Hell yeah. That's it right there. Or it sure helped. I'll tell you what, that's a whole new pinhole in the skin of the balloon, okay? We have another release valve in Concepcion here. And 18,000 feet, that relieved a lot of pressure. Meanwhile, everything else was still pumping, tens of thousands of feet. And that's how we were able to, make it through that geomagnetic storm event. Concepcion came through, I think, because 18,000 feet. Yeah, that could be it. And you see all this pressure being released via volcanoes instead of earthquakes. I think that's another reason why our earthquake map is so quiet. We still do have the coupling effect of the D layer here, because this event is still ongoing, okay? It's still magnetically, hooked to our planet here. But once these disappear, we might see that grip released, and we will see another release of pressure possibly. But for right now, it looks like our quake activity has been subdued because of volcanic activity has kicked in, and we have a new one on a new pinhole in the cushion, and pushing blast pretty high. So that could compensate for all that right there. Okay, that's kind of good news, actually. It's all in your perspective. Gotta remember, every cloud has a silver lining. Okay, we're gonna let that load up there real quick. I think it was King Solomon who once requested a ring. He said, one of his servants, I want a special ring, one that will make me laugh when I'm sad, and one that will, make me feel melancholy when I'm, overexcited or something. And this servant's like, okay, it sounds like an impossible task. So he went around the village and asked some people, hey, can you help me find a ring that will make the king happy when he's sad and sad when he's happy? And nobody could kind of figure it out. He went to a jeweler, and the jeweler's, you know what? I think I got the right thing for him. And he brings him back a ring, and instead of having some kind of fancy thing on it, there was inscribed in it, this too shall pass. So when you're happy, this too shall pass. There will be hard times, and it makes you sad. But when you're sad, this too shall pass, and it makes you happy. Okay? So a lot of times when you see bad news or something scary, this will pass. But don't forget, even in good times, there'll still be hard times. That will pass too. Okay? So All about perspective. And they have like warped this world's perspective from grade school and through the media. It's a mass psychosis that we see our country enduring. Ow. Hang on a second. Let me adjust this a little better. Okay, our current conditions. This is the nighttime of May 16th. Right now, we're still suffering some severe weather down in Louisiana. Speaking of which, I want to pull open the Venture Sky right while I'm thinking about it. So bear with me while we open up one other instrument here. We want to look at Venture Sky. And I'm trying to get my my radar app on this computer so we can view the radar app on this, my other phone. Funny how things work. As soon as you get two things working, one breaks. We'll go to the radar first. And come in on this part of the country. All right, this storm blew through Houston and they were about to get the biggest tornado I have ever seen convecting and forming. And let's just say I had to say a prayer. Could you put a hedge of protection in there? And a storm, some of these things rush up to meet the storm. They come up like here to meet the storm. As it was coming into Houston, something came right up and blocked it, so it didn't form an F7 10-mile wide tornado that would have just gobbled the whole city. It was looking very perilous for a minute there. And here's said storm still kind of moving, out of, along the coastline here, kind of driving down out into the ocean here. Look at this circular shape to it. See, this is what I was talking about. I wish I could pull up my app, but it's on the phone I'm actually using right now. So, anyways, current conditions right down there, severe thunderstorms right along the coast there. Coming back to our forecast, that's right there for right now. Now, going into tomorrow morning, there's still a chance along the Gulf. It'll be the noontime convection nighttime. Here's the morning of the 18th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 19th, noon, convection, nighttime. 20th, noon, convection, nighttime. 21st, noon, convection, nighttime. 22nd, noon, convection, nighttime. See how these things just keep going one after another right through there. So, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, noon, convection, nighttime. Look at this convection of the 23rd here in Texas, this tail end of this huge comet right here. Watch out for that. The noon of the 23rd, convection, nighttime. So even nocturnal activity down in Texas there after that. Going into the 24th, noon. You look at this up here. Watch this. See how that pinches off? There's noon, convection, nighttime. So it spins up and connects with this and creates a whole long QLCS going all the way down there. Even though, whoops. Oh, why did I do that? I hate this map. For that fact right there. Hang on. Get her back. I said get her back. Right here on the 24th. Boom, boom, boom. Right there, noontime, the 24th, convection, nighttime, 25th. Whoa. Morning of the 25th right there. That's the nighttime right there. Nighttime of the 24th with this two eyes and a happy face right there. So the morning of the 25th, noon, convection, Indiana, nighttime. Morning of the 26th, noon, convection, convection there on the 26th. Nighttime, yipe. Hope that doesn't happen around the 26th. Morning of the 27th, noon, convection, nighttime. 28th, noon, convection, nighttime. And the rest of that is kind of too far out in the future. I pray that doesn't happen right there. What the fuck? Pardon my French, I didn't say it. So right here, the nighttime of the 28th. So morning of the 29th, watch this through the course of the 29th and the following days. Wow. All right, well, I hope that event doesn't happen. So after tonight, we just another little small event along this southern coast, and then possibly scattered stuff along the plains there. Anymore, it's so hit and miss with what's been going on. And let me just kind of pause right there, take you back. Excuse me here, to Ventus guy. Okay, and oh. So, whole new discovery, and you guys are here for it live. All right, new. Come on, can we exit out of that? And play this, please. Let's take it right about there. And broke that linear line up and diverted it. All right. These magnetic wave lines coming through there. This is our new effect in the weather. Spherical object causing air to go over the top of it. Right at the front of it is the storm front because it's pushing air. The air is roiling. There is a round spheroid shaped object, whatever, magnetic field, whatever, something round is manipulating the weather. Also want to get a little bit of this tail in there too. Can you see it? Round structure at the end. Look, you get the round structure of the storm itself. You can see the backside of the sphere. See all that rain's dissipating. It's going down the backside. All right. Hold that image. Turn it sideways. There's the tail going up through there. Right there. It's the very same area, too. Now, back here is another one pushing this way. So you got moving like this. This one's creating air currents that push down this way. This one catches those currents, stirs them up, and creates the storm front in front of this spheroid right here. And you can kind of almost tell by the clear air. They can do both. You turn the magnet on, it makes everything condense around it. You turn the magnet off, it makes a clear pocket, and then you can push stuff. It repels as well as attracts. It can convect as well as devect. And now watch, let's go back to the very beginning of this, to the smaller one up front in this case. This is what cued me in when I saw this motion right here. Welcome back told you I'd be back. You see this one jump? Captured this effect again going on. That's not a skipping data. Watch this storm and how it skips and jumps. All right, that's not a skipping data. That's whoops. Pull back around. This is currently live over Florida right now. Our first little round sphere. All right, let me help. Let me slow down here. Try and get this centered. All right, our first sphere is right behind that storm front. See the bulge in the front of that storm front? Our sphere is right there, and you can see stuff blossoming off the top of it at the very end there, okay? All right, so our smaller diameter sphere right there, causing the stuff to ripple off the top, right? The pushing of it causes the air to roil in turbulence in front of it. You can see there's a bigger one with it, all right? So a bigger diameter sphere and a smaller diameter sphere. You come back over here. Here's your bigger diameter sphere and a smaller one right there. Let me see if I can get this other weather app up and going. Give me just a second here. I want to go to that region right now. This app that I have on this phone is much older. It's my radar, but it's an older version of it because it's what an S4. But in this version, the older version of my radar, they had wind patterns accompanying the storm front. Little, well, like the little arrows that you see here. See these little arrows? Sometimes they will curve and bend over and paint. The curvature of the air moving actually paints the spheroid object. And let's see, is this pulling it up now? Nope. It turned off on me. All right, give this phone just a second to reboot and stuff. Now, we're going to continue on while we're doing this. So I want to go ahead and move it on down to this part here. That's good right about there while you're... What happened to the volume? Oh, there it goes. Yeah, the elephant in the room right here. Tilt your head 45 degrees to your left shoulder. For those of you who know your left from your right. Tilt your head to your left-hand shoulder, and you got us an elephant with a trunk, 2 eyes. It's like the big object, the big elephant in the room. Again, driving nasty weather at Jack. This storm was the only storm on the map, and then this tail that comes off of it, the vortex. We're kind of going over the same thing with you guys. Have already seen this. Come on, why? Looks like an uppercut. Oops. Let me try this. Oh, we were doing so good without the ad. Okay, you can see the effect. See how intense that... What I'm going to try to do here over at Venture Sky is we got a quick little movie here. Let's see if we can capture the motion of this storm on Venture Sky. Come here. Over the course of a few minutes and see its course. No, it didn't move much at all. Here, let me do this. Can I have control of this, please? Okay, I guess not. You know, let me see what this radar app is doing now. Why aren't you doing that? there it goes. I guess not going to let me do it now, huh? Yeah, you used to be able to slide this and it would play it a little bit. You could move it back and forth. Now that's all corrupted data or something there. That's future casting. Okay, now hopefully this radar app is coming up here. Kind of interesting to see old technology versus new technology and what stuff they kept and what stuff they took out. Where is the little foot that I had for this? Oh, while we're here, let's go check our anomaly too. See if there's anything going on down here. Ooh, look at that big old set of waves. And get rid of some of this stuff. Alright, hopefully this weather app is going to pull up now. Oh, let's go back a little bit. Actually, and just go back through the history for a few seconds here while waiting for this app to load up to see if there was anything that was captured here in the last 24 hours. Look at that thing growing in the middle here. All right, where is this app? Oh, everything is big. So resistant. Okay, bear with me just a second. Here it comes. Because I want to see if we can capture this again. Where's my little foot? Dang it. I'll add a little footing to hold this phone up so I don't have to hold it with my hands, but we're just going to try it like this, see what happens here. All right, so let's zoom into that part of the country. That's the Gulf Coast. Come back to our radar. No, we got to reset the time. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can get rid of all the temperature things. This is in that same region again. What I'll try to do is see if these wind currents are showing any of the curvature of the object here. Ooh, you can kind of see it going on in there again. And this doesn't appear to be like a local radar site making a circle, a stationary circle. This whole structure moves. And look at the air currents that kind of lead up to it, go over it. All right, so there's our kind of effect that I was talking about here. Let's see if we can get this a little bit closer here. Trying to get the wind currents to show up real quick for us here on, just refresh that. This will help. All right, here we go. Hopefully this is going to capture right out in front of this storm. See the little green round structure at the front? Look how the wind flows over it. Last frame. The wind stays the same to the last frame, and then the colors catch up to the last frame right there. But you can see the airflow going over a round object right there. Let's see if we can find a better one here. And try to capture the main one here. All right. Hopefully it'll load up here in just a second. What's going on? We'll zoom back in on this. So we're currently looking at this storm right here, this one that's going on right now that's hitting Pensacola. And I'll just kind of get a better shot. Just my backup phone with the much newer weather radar is the one that broke, but all right. Hopefully, guys, it's not as cookie cutter as the other one, but you can still see we have that effect happening here again. It's not as blatantly obvious, but we do have our round circular two spheroid shape, you know, either magnetic fields or whatever. They're spheroid shape. Look at this one down at the bottom here in the red at the very end right there. Come here. Hang on, this is being very... I think right about there should be good. Let's see if we can capture this again. The very end frame at the bottom left, the red, you can see air flowing over a spherical object at the very last right there. Let me try pulling this up just a bit more. All right, let that update a little bit. Hang Hang on, it's updating here. The very last frame right there. The wind current stay the same while the color catches up at the last frame. Let's see if we can find a better one here. And then we'll get into our spiritual report here. I just wanted to try to capture this while it was in this vicinity again, doing something similar to what we had captured before here. Please pull this up now. Thank you. Let's play that some more. See, everything's intense over the top. Touch screen. Everything's intense over the top of the sphere, and around the edges it's green. Ooh. We're capturing it pretty good right there. All right, one more shot with this radar app. It's reloading here. There we go. How's that? You can actually see the front edge of the big ball right now, right here at the end. Let me move my hand up. That whole yellow front right there is air starting to lift over the front part of that big sphere. Doing the same thing there. Oh, come on, re-update. There it goes. Oh, really looking circular now, huh? Sorry, but I'm trying to capture some of this again for the record for my channel, so I can have a reference to refer back to when we capture this same kind of event happening here. Doesn't look exactly like the last time, but do you see our circular shape taking form here? Okay. Darn little temperature things kind of cloud the screen. I want to try to capture the whole round effect moving. There we go. Ow. My shoulder pops back into socket. That was nice. Oh, one more shot of this. Sorry, I gotta get it for the record here. You guys are live to witness another, breakthrough in weather. Okay, there's more going on out there than just our regular convection. Okay, there's other factors now. Look at the perfect round structure that it makes. Okay, a few more seconds of this, but I can hold it. All right, cool. So there we go. Cool. I captured it a second time. All right, now you guys kind of know what to look for on your weather radar apps. This one right here is the new updated version of my radar. That other one was an old version, and I kind of lost track of where the smaller one went, but we can clearly see the bigger one. Anyways, I want to try to get this My Radar app pulled up on my computer so we can just go right to that instead of Venture Sky, and we can track the real updated radar that has a much clearer activity than that other one. All right, so there's that. And that, I think, is enough of the science, weather, volcanoes, geophysics, terraphysics, astrophysics. Now let's move on to some metaphysics now. And we can get rid of all these instruments are still open. That one we can pull up. Might do a little review again. This is where it all started right here for me. Okay, I was just a normal guy going about my life, and some strange stuff started happening. It all started right here. 13 days before the Revelation 12 sign, my life turned upside down, more like inside out.
Boom. Here's our object right here. Looks like Nibiru. It's got a wing coming off on this side and a wing coming off on that side.
Be right back.
And that's not all, because behind that is this big object right here.
There's your silhouette.
Causing our flares. Here's a conduit of plasma that is sucking off of our sun, going into this planet. Here's a damage ring or an impact zone on this planet right here. You can see Nibiru sticking out in front of it here.
Can you see that?
Run this backwards.
That's the image that brings fear to astronomers, the scientists' hearts. Some people probably had a heart attack when they realized what this was. They saw that and went, oh, and probably keeled over. But you guys here have nothing to fear. Even though this is taking place, that's the key to the door, really. I'm going to let it finish playing here.
It goes backwards. There's the second flare. Back behind the sun, comes back out. There's the first flare. So the mass of that object is sucking material off of our sun, causing these solar flares. Boom, right there. Goes back behind the sun. Comes back out. Second flare. And third flare. So there's your wake-up call. Hope you enjoyed.
All right. So we had two signs that appeared in Revelation 12. The woman draped in the sun with the moon at her feet and a crown of 12 stars.
Because behind that,
then in the prophecy, or in Revelation 12, it says, then another sign appeared. A great red dragon stood in front of the woman, ready to devour the child when it was born. Oh, this fits the description of a black hole, which could devour. Okay. It stood 13 days before the woman. Everybody else was expecting it to happen afterwards, because when they read it, it says, then another sign appeared. Okay. So it makes it sound like this happens afterwards, but it says it happened. The dragon stood in front of the woman or before the woman. Well, it stood 13 days in front or 13 days before September 23rd. 13 days before the star alignment, the dragon stood. Now, everybody saw the star alignment because it's lit up, right? We're all used to looking at light, not where there's missing light, right? So God showed me this CME, and I'm like, what? He goes, look close. There's more going on than meets the eye there. And I'm like, well, what's going on? And look close. Think the big picture. I struggled for hours to finally see this. I didn't know what the heck was going on, what I was looking for, nothing. Until finally it revealed itself in the pop-up down here in the more compressed version. Okay, when it's more compressed, you can see it when, let me just do this real quick. When we go like this to a solar flare, now you can't see it because it's too close and in your face. It's not until you pull way back, a dimension back, even a couple more dimensions back, that you finally see the bigger picture. Now, he kept telling me, think the bigger picture. And I'm, zoom in. I'll zoom in to see if there's life on it, right? No, think the bigger picture. Well, when you zoom out, you get to see the bigger picture. When it's too close in your face, you're only seeing the small picture. So finally, I was able to see this. And then, then I had the heart attack, just like the astrophysicist who saw this probably did. Anyways, there's your dragon, Revelation 12, Nemesis and Nibiru, showing up as it said it would, when it said it would. Okay? God showed me this. Like I said, I struggled for hours to see it. It wasn't like it just popped out and I saw it right away. It took a long time, and it's like, no, keep trying, do this, do that, take a break. I had to take a break from looking at this to try to start over again. And it was when I took a break, I walked away and I left the cursor sitting on the red line. I went and had a cigarette, came back, and instead of looking at this image, I looked right here and saw it compressed, and I went, oh! And that's when everything changed for me. And then 13 days after this, we all went outside and watched the star alignment over my ranch. It was awesome display. It was right in the sky over our valley, over our ranch. It was just beautiful, awesome display. And then about 11 days after that star alignment, something else happened. And we'll get you right up in that real quick here.
Howdy, folks. Welcome back. So I've been going through some of the old photos and running them through the filter, and this was one of the first ones that I had ever captured. And what's going on here is I'm here on my garage with our same display right here.
And okay, note the date up top here. Can you see that at all? It says October 4th, 2017. Right up here, 10/4/2017. That's 11 days after the star alignment, all right? She was in labor. She was about to give birth. The dragon stood in front of her, ready to devour the child. And 11 days later...
the day before the other picture, but I hadn't found it for years later until I was digging around through my, my old pictures and stuff, and went even further back to see if I'd missed anything, and I captured this one. And we're gonna zoom into this streak right up here, this one right here. Just bear with me for a second here. Now, hopefully you can see that we have a lady's profile here. Here's her eye, here's her forehead, her snub little nose, here's the bottom jaw. She's smiling, she's looking down, and she's holding a baby. And here's the baby's head right here. Here's the face, the back of the head. Here's her arm cupped around like this, and she's holding the baby. Now I'm going to run this through the filter real quick, and it's going to enhance it, but a little bit too much. But see, now you can really make out her profile a lot better and see her face, and her headdress is coming over and going down back behind her. And you can still make out the baby's head right here. And maybe if I pull back a little bit, there we go. And this was captured on October 4th. So this was about 11 days after the Revelation 12 sign. All this stuff started happening to me just prior to the Revelation 12 sign and then right after it. So it said the woman was about to give birth. Well, it looks like maybe she gave birth, and here's the little baby being caught up to God.
All right. After this event, boy, how do we say? It's just so so undescribable, so gnarly. I can't describe it. And then the next day, after this event happened, I was a wreck. All right, I was an absolute wreck because of what happened, and I'm out here in the same spot, ironically, on my knees, crying, screaming, and praying because my life had been ripped apart, torn upside down, inside out.
Howdy, folks, welcome back. So I've been going through some of the old photos and running them through the filter, and this was one of the first ones that I had ever captured. And what's going on here is I'm here on my knees. I'm crying and screaming and praying, all three at once. I was in some extreme anguish. A paranormal traumatic event happened to me, something so unbelievable you guys wouldn't believe it. So if I told you, so I'm going to show you instead.
See, that's why I can't tell you what happened to me. I have to show you instead.
So in this image here, I'm sitting here praying, and Mary's head appears right next to my head, and we're going to zoom in on this. You can't go in too tight on it, but she's looking down at my head this way. Let's see, there's pretty good. And you can make out her eye and her nose coming down, her shawl coming over, and it's in shadow right here. This is a shadow of the inside of her shawl going over her head like this. Here's her eye, her nose, her other eye would be on the other side there. Okay. You can't go in too tight on it.
You see that, you guys?
And then also is this white ball with an eye in it, this white orb with an eye in it. Okay, and that's not all, because over here in this corner up here is an angel. The silhouette of an angel with his wings spread, with his back to us, standing in a shaft of light. Here's his head. There's a glow over the head. The wings are extended, and there's a feather coming off. The last feather coming off is crossing over these brown roof tiles in the background here. And you can make out there's an angel right here. And you can even see his head right here. Going a little bit tighter. So there's the angel with his back to us and his wings spread. Yeah, you can see a lot better with the filter. Before it was really faint and it was hard to see. Same with this. This came out a little bit better here. Yeah, there's Mary looking down at my head because I was in anguish. I mean, what happened to me was just so disturbing. I can't even describe it. I was in crying, screaming, and praying, an experience I'd never felt before. All three of them at the same time. It was just terrible. But what happened was,
imagine being born kind of weird birth type event thing happened to you, and then you don't know what happened to you, and you're wondering what the heck's going on, why
head, her snub little nose.
Why you?
Here's the bottom jaw. She's smiling. She's looking down, and she's holding a baby. And here,
why you were like felt like you were a baby again and born, and just all impossible to describe. It's just impossible to describe. Anyways, after said event, I was out here just wondering what's going on, crying, screaming, praying. Had no idea that my camera, my security camera, was capturing all this. And it wasn't until I went back and was looking, just going through, see, what animals snuck through the garage that night, if anybody went in there. And I saw this frame right here. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's that when I was out there crying, screaming, what's next to my head right there? And I zoomed in. I'm like, oh boy, now that makes sense to what happened to me the night before. And then let's move on and get you right here too.
Hey, it's me, your
Really?
future you.
Oh, yeah?
Bad money move. So you work at 102.
You're late.
Don't make your future you hate you.
Compare and find
Great
financial
commercial
products
made me
today.
spill
Nerd
my
Knowledge.
drink. Yeah, just
Howdy, folks.
Ads are
Welcome back.
wonderful.
So I'm
Let me go
real
grab a
excited
towel.
to show you this one. This is an angel that was captured on my security cameras, and now I've run it through the filter here. So if you turn your head to the right, about 45 degrees, you can make out the head, the hair, the breasts. It's a female, the torso, the waist, the legs coming down here, a wing coming off here, a wing coming off over here. And we'll zoom in on this real quick because this one's nice and clear that you can. Okay, and this is an angel that was caught hovering in a shaft of light over this sleeping child down below here. So zoom in on it again. Just excited that you can see it a lot clearer now because before it was kind of faint, and now with these filters I'm able to make these images pop a little bit more for you guys so you can see them. I'm sorry about the way I have to do it with the camera and the computer, but I don't have any other option. So but I just wanted to bring this angel to you for a moment so you guys can see that this is real. This is security camera footage that's admissible as evidence in a court of law. So
yeah. What are they going to do now when this isn't fake? When this is a real image? This stuff is real, you guys. It's been really hard to do this too and to bring this to you. I mean, everybody thinks you're crazy. They send you off to asylums and then they have no idea what's really going on because they're all stuck in the physical world. They have no idea that the spiritual realm actually exists. And it's attacking me and doing all kinds of crazy things. Here, let's just show you real quick. Some other stuff, just real quick here. You guys see
it's
now?
tucked in the way in the corner of this picture, way back up in here. Howdy, folks. Welcome back. So I've been going through some more of these pictures and running them through the filter and stuff. And not only were we finding angels and Mary and stuff, but there's also demons, and I've also found Satan in this stuff too. So as we're looking here at this picture, what I'm talking about is in this mosaic of blotchy white dots that you see this picture is comprised of. When you zoom in really tight in on a picture, you'll see that it's made up of these splotchy little patches and dots. These new digital cameras make these little blotches. Well, hiding in these blotches are faces. And if you haven't seen it yet, there's an eye right here and an eye right here. And when you make eye contact with these two eyes right here, you'll see the mouth fall into place down here. It's snarling. If you look, it's got some kind of streaks or horns or something or wrinkles coming out of its head up here. And this is some kind of demon or principality. Other people refer to them as principalities, but this is what I'm talking about, and hopefully you can see this here. This is a pupil right here of an eye. This is a pupil of a bigger eye. Here's the whites of the eye, the white of this eye. These two eyes. Once you look at those, you'll see it falls into place. Maybe I'll pull back a little bit. You can see it a little bit better. Zoom in. Right about there is good. And you can make out there's teeth here in this mouth.
Okay, so you guys can see that this stuff is real. Here it is attacking my bike when I'm praying. I was just doing
Flapping. We'll pull it over
opening prayer before I even started doing like recording. I'm just praying before I kind of set up or whatever.
Turns, picks up my bike, lifts it up, and spits a bolt of energy on it. Okay, there's that. I'll let you look at that one for a second longer.
And then here it's attacking me.
That was a real one. I could feel it. And
move on to this next one here.
Okay, in this series here, I'm sitting on the couch again praying, the camera's set up, and you'll see a purple streak, a bolt come in here, right there, boom, and it hurt. You can see my reaction to it. So we'll let it run again. Here I am sitting here praying. There's all kinds of stuff jumping around in the background, and then zap right there. And that was a real one. I could feel it. And now when I go back, we're going to go back to the top of that bolt and zoom in on the face. Okay, so here's the frame out of that sequence of me getting hit with that bolt. You can see the bolt coming down here. It's got a kind of a purple hue to it or whatever. And then we're going to start zooming in to the face up top here. And it's going to be Satan's face. So you guys ready to see this? If not, you might want to stop the video at this point. But I do not glorify this at all. I do not like to give him attention, but it's important to know that he's real because he wants everybody to think that he's not real. I think you might be able to see this face without me pointing anything out yet. There we go. Okay, so let me zoom out so I can see it. If you look right here at this eye, this is his crazed eye. The other on the other side is bigger. It's the all-seeing eye. It's a little out of proportion, but then you can make out the side of his face. His jawline coming down, the bottom of his chin, his face going up here. Here's his mouth with some evil kind of grin on it. You can see his ear coming out over here. You can make out horns coming up. And this is in that mosaic of dots again, but these faces pop out and they're more prominent. You can see this one really stands out. And that's Satan right there. You can even make out some wings coming up here. And he's mad. He's mad because I'm praying. And he's spitting bolts of energy at me and spitting on my bike and doing all sorts of crazy stuff.
All right, so you guys see that? That's Satan attacking me. Because of who I am. All right, now we're going to go ahead and do our reading here. Let's pull up reconnecting. Okay, good. You guys are reconnected. Are you reconnected? Here's a good question to ask yourself. Have you been reconnected? It's really...
My man Ezra, flying without a net so that he could order himself a...
sky. Howdy folks, welcome back. So snapping some pictures of the clouds yesterday, and I noticed something forming in the clouds, what looked like a face over here. And I'm going to start zooming in on this face because it's a real face. And if you look back behind it here, let's zoom in just a little bit. You'll notice that back behind here, this face is being projected by Jesus's heart.
That's
right here.
That's
you can
better.
see it radiating out. Here's Jesus' face. He's pulling open his shirt, exposing his heart. His heart's radiating out this image in the sky. See his face here? And there's a crown right here. Also in the etherical, in black, there's another crown right here, radiating out.
Yeah, that's a good spot right there. All right, now let's get rid of Venture Sky and pull up another cool image. This one will be that. Okay, so very painful, very confusing, hard, emotional, physical, spiritual, all three at the same time. Just most bizarre stuff. And I was just a normal guy, you know. I'm a humble guy. I like to go to work and raise my family, and you know, I try to just be a normal person, and all this weird stuff happened to me. There's that one. We got this one now. Nope. This is going to be something else. So, interesting capture there. That's like, well, new scientific discovery, or maybe they already knew about it and just nobody told you. Where am I going now? Oh, yeah.
Pareidolia or something else.
There's that one. And then there we go.
Might tell us that this is, you know, an
All right. It's not elaborate hoax. It's the real deal. After what I went through, I can see why. All right, so I got some stuff to read tonight for you. So while everybody get all settled in and take a few deep breaths while my face shines upon you. Ow. It's light down here. Okay. Oh, why is everything up there? Okay. All right, yeah, take a few deep breaths here. All the way in, all the way out. Good, we got down to our regular 20 people. We'll keep that there. We'll go, no, not that one. This one right there. There's your savior right there. He's got a good heart. He's a good man. People don't understand him. All right, so there's that. So we're starting right here. Where do you want me to start? Right there. Oh, yeah. I see where we're picking up at. Give me just 1 second here. I got very complicated notes and okay, yeah, we'll go right here then. So when you're looking at all these images and you're seeing my face, I showed you last night, I turned the camera around and showed you that that's me. Okay. Even my friends recognized it. Hey, dude, that's your face, man. Uh-oh. So I want you to just think about this for a bit when you're looking at all this stuff, thinking about that heart, being a good guy. And just know that I will be your guide even to the end. Rejoice that the one who leads you through each day will never abandon you either. I am the constant companion you can always count on, the one who goes before you yet remains close beside you also. I never let go of your hand. I guide you with my counsel, and afterward I take you into glory. So here we are doing all the scientist stuff. I'm guiding you in that counsel. And then after all the science stuff, after that, I take you into glory, don't I? This whole time during the show, I guide you with my counsel. And then afterwards, we do our spiritual report where I take you into glory. Many people are overly dependent on human leaders because they want someone to make their decisions for them. You got me? Most people are dependent on human leaders because they want someone else to make their decisions for them. Unscrupulous people can manipulate their followers to do things they wouldn't freely choose to do. But everyone who trusts me as Savior has a leader who is completely trustworthy and dependable. Okay? So we see our government, we see our unscrupulous people, the government, our media, that unscrupulous conglomerate can manipulate their followers. Like, you know what I'm talking about. We got some MSNBC and we got some Fox followers as well, don't we? It's okay. I know. Now, one side's unscrupulous. They manipulate their followers to do things they wouldn't freely choose to do. But you guys here that trust in me as your Savior, you now have a leader that is completely trustworthy and dependable. I guide you with my truth, and I teach you my concepts so that you can make good decisions. Concepcion. I've provided you with a wonderfully reliable map called the Bible. It's my word. My word is a lamp to your feet and a light to your path. So follow this light and follow me, for I am the one who knows the best way for you to go. Yeah. Hold up. Where's it? No. It's not there. Hang on. I got these images are for a reason. So bear with me. We're supposed to kind of look at them while I'm reading and think about what you're experiencing. Actually feel it and experience it. Bingo, right there. Okay. You guys see that weird V-shaped object thing coming out of the screen there? Victory right there. Okay. Follow my light. Follow me. I am the one who knows the best way for you to go. I give you my shield of victory. Do you see it there? Do you see my shield of victory? I give that to you. I give you my shield of victory, and my right hand sustains you. I won the ultimate victory through my sacrificial crucifixion and my miraculous resurrection. I did this for you, for all who trust in me as Savior God. I accomplished everything. Your part is just to believe. Okay? All you have to do is believe. Okay? I already accomplished everything. Your part is just to believe. It's to believe that you need a Savior to pay the penalty for your sins and that I am the way of salvation, the only way of salvation. I've been teaching you tricks of how to salvage your day, haven't I? We are in the salvage business, aren't we? Yeah. And I give you that shield right there. Come back here. You see that face right there? Does that look like that guy in the sky right there? Where's the zoom on this? Can I zoom in on that? No, I can't. All right. That's that same guy right there. Same guy that's talking to you right now. I give you my shield of victory, whether your part is to believe. If you want that victory, if you want that shield, believe. The more you believe me, the more you trust me, the more you lean in on me, you'll find that peace. You'll find that. Okay, now I wanted to touch base with so as you live in close dependence on me, my right hand does indeed sustain you, holding you up, and I have indescribably great power, yet I use my mighty right hand not only to protect you, but to tenderly lead you and help you keep going. All right? Got a lot of power, but I use it to protect and tenderly lead. Sometimes I even gather you in my arms and carry you close to my heart. And carry you close to my heart right there. Yeah, I have a mighty right hand, but I use it to protect and tenderly lead. So I gather you in my arms and I carry you close to my heart. Now, when we're looking at this stuff, and we're all future tripping, and we're still thinking, oh my God, what's going to happen here? Quit future tripping. And remember that challenging circumstances come and go, but I am constantly with you. I'm writing the storyline of your life through good times and hard times. Okay? So there's your meaning of life. I'm writing the storyline of your life through good times and hard times. I can see the big picture from before your birth to beyond the grave. I can see the bigger picture. Where was the other one we had? Oh, wait, never mind. We'll just go back to this. All right, it's too close up in your face. You have to back away from it. This is all been compressed. You're looking at the bigger picture. You have to be able to step back into a different dimension to see this. And when you see that, you're looking at a bigger picture type thing. Okay, so challenging circumstances will come and go, but I'm constantly with you. I can see the big picture. I can see from before your birth to beyond the grave. See, this is beyond the grave, the spiritual realm. I know what happens after you die. Okay, I know exactly what you will be like when heaven becomes your forever home. And I'm continually working to transform you into this perfect creation. You are royalty in my kingdom. Do you hear me? You, even the ones in replay, you are royalty now in my kingdom. You see the king all painted up and burning in hell in that portrait? You see that portrait that they did of him? Well, it's because he doesn't know me. But you do. He's not royalty. You are. You are royalty in my kingdom. Now, I'm constantly here, constant. I'm consistency. Okay? The consistency of my presence is a glorious treasure too. So just because you see it here in the clouds right now and you don't see it in your clouds doesn't mean I'm not constantly there. Constantly by your side. Consistently. The consistency of my presence is a glorious treasure. That, wow, is really, well, I don't want to, it's really underrated by most Christians. They've been taught that I'm continually with them, but they often think and act as if they're alone. Even when you leave this, the show's over, I'm still right there. I'm constantly with you. So it's everybody else has been taught that I'm continually with them, but they often think and act as if they're alone. So when you lovingly whisper my name, drawing near me, when you lovingly whisper my name, drawing me near, even in tough times, both you and I are blessed. This simple prayer demonstrates your trust that I am indeed with you and I am taking care of you. The reality of my presence outweighs the difficulties you're facing, no matter how heavy or painful or hard they seem. Okay? Once you trust me and you get that through your thick skull, the reality of my presence now, just my mere presence here, that reality outweighs any difficulties you're facing. So come to me when you're feeling weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. I do, don't I? Right now, you're at rest. I'm the champion who perfects your faith. The more problem-filled your life becomes, the more important it is to keep your eyes on me. I'm the perfecter, the finisher and perfecter of your faith. Now you know. I am the champion who perfects your faith. The more problem-filled your life becomes, the more important it is to keep your eyes on me. Do you guys see how important it is now? When you look at the media and you get all frazzled during the middle of the day, you're coming to me going, ooh, I need that relief, man. Ooh, I need to get away from all that. So you're seeing how important it is to keep your eyes on me, to keep your eyes on this foundation. Okay? Alien invasion comes and they're like, oh yeah, you've been genetically manipulated from a monkey by the aliens. Bullshit. And you can tell them Brian Knight said so. Because I am the champion who perfects your faith, the finisher and perfecter of your faith. So keep your eyes on me. And if you gaze too long at your problems or the troubles in this world, you will become discouraged. So whenever you're feeling weighed down or disheartened, break free by looking to me. I am always with you, so you can communicate with me at any time, in any situation. So that covers everything. Anytime, any situation. So instead of just letting your thoughts run freely, direct them to me. This gives traction to your thinking and it draws you closer to me. So rest in my embrace for a while, enjoying the nurturing protection of my presence. And as you survey the landscape of this broken world, rejoice now that nothing can separate you from my love. Okay? I want you to go out there and survey the landscape of this broken world. And then when you see that image right there, you should jump out of your shoes and rejoice that nothing can separate you from my love. This promise, okay, this is my promise. This promise applies to anything you could ever encounter. So no matter how bleak things may look to you at the time, I am still in control. I, your champion who fights for you, scoff at those who think they can defeat me. Remember, my unfailing love surrounds you. It's that hedge of protection. When you do that, when you trust in me and you lean on me and you trust in my unfailing love, thanking me for the good you do not see, then when evil seems to be flourishing in the world around you, it can look as if things are spinning out of control. But rest assured, I'm not wringing my hands helplessly, wondering what to do next. I am still in control, and there is behind the scenes goodness in the midst of your turmoil. Okay? Behind the scenes. You can't see it, but there is behind the scenes goodness in the midst of your turmoil, in the midst of your adversity. Behind the scenes, you're getting stronger. So I urge you to thank me not only for the blessings you can see, but for the ones you cannot. My wisdom and knowledge are deeper and richer than words can express. My judgments are unsearchable, and my paths are beyond tracing out. This is why trusting me at all times is crucial. It is so, so crucial. You will keep your sanity when everybody else loses their mind. So, trusting in me at all times is crucial. You must not let confusing circumstances shake your faith in me. When your world feels unsteady, the disciplines of trusting and thanking me serve to stabilize you. What? Did you just get that? When your world feels unsteady, like right now, or, before the show, after the show, the disciplines I'm trying to teach you of trusting and having a grateful heart and thanking me, they actually stabilize your mental health. Okay? It's for your own mental health. Really. And don't let confusing circumstances shake your faith in me. I am always with you. I guide you with my counsel, and afterwards I take you into glory. What else do you have there? I got into the suffering. I think one more right here. We'll close with this. I want you guys to kind of have some peace. It's so chaotic out there. I know what you guys are stressing on. I know what you're thinking. I know how you're feeling. The election and all that stuff is stirring everybody up. War going on. So I want you to put all that stuff aside because it doesn't matter. I want you to live close to me, open to me, aware of, attentive to, trusting, and thanking me. I am always near you, so open up yourself fully, heart, mind, and spirit, to my living presence. Okay? Not in the cloud presence, my flesh and blood walking amongst you, my living presence. I am here with you right now, and I am always near you. So open yourself fully, heart, mind, and spirit, to my living presence. Feel free to ask the Holy Spirit to help you in this endeavor. Seek to stay aware of me as you follow your path through each day. There is never a moment when I am not fully aware of you. Attentiveness involves being alert, listening carefully, and observing closely. I encourage you to be attentive not only to me, but to the people I bring into your life. Do you hear me? Be attentive to the people I bring into your life. Listening to others with full, prayerful attention blesses both them and you. So, paying attention, prayerful attention, listening to others fully. You know, we all have this really, really bad habit. It's already been programmed into you. When somebody's talking to you, especially, say, well, we won't go there yet. When someone's talking to you, you're already kind of thinking in your head what your rebuttal's going to be and what your response is going to be, right? So when somebody's talking to you, blah, 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 I was out doing this and blah, 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 and all of a sudden it pops an idea in your head and you're thinking about what you're going to tell them right afterwards, right? When you do that, you haven't heard a dang thing they said. So we got to practice this mindful thinking of listening to people instead of formulating what you want to say in return. Who cares what you have to say? Shut up and listen to people. You got two ears and one mouth. So close the mouth and open the ears sometimes is good because that's people want to be heard. So listening to others with full prayerful attention blesses both them and you. You want to be heard too, right? When you're trying to talk to somebody and it's something important that you're trying to convey to them and they're already formulating in their head, oh, well, I was thinking about doing lunch. What? You didn't hear that I can't do lunch now. I'm paralyzed from the waist down. You didn't hear what I said? Yeah. So it's important that we hear people. We have to train our minds to stop the interruptive thinking of what I want to say in return and close down that part of your mind and open up the ears and listen to the person. You'll find they're telling you everything you want that you need to know. You want to know something about somebody? Shut up and listen to them. They will tell you everything. Just don't let yourself get in the way with your big mouth. And if I offended you, well, then you got some work to do on that. Okay? Now, this is where the Bible comes in so important because the Bible is full of instruction to trust me and thank me. Remember, I am totally trustworthy, so it is always appropriate to believe me in my promises. I understand your weakness, and I will help you overcome your unbelief. Haven't I? Have I helped you overcome your unbelief? Maybe if you don't believe me, you believe that. I know everybody here believes me, or you wouldn't be here. Now, I do have a little bit more, I guess. It's always appropriate to believe me and my promises because I understand your weakness and I will help you overcome your unbelief. Finally, thank me throughout each day. That discipline of gratitude helps you receive my joy in full measure. Understand how that works, right? And then, no, that is a whole nother lesson, and we cannot go into that yet. But we will. Any pre-notes to all that I had? I had. Give me one more second here. There it is right there. Okay. Here we go. So we're going to close with this one. And, well, that's good enough image. You guys are probably just listening anyway. So, yeah, I'll just leave it there. Okay, so stay alert and be persistent in your prayers, okay? Consistency, persistent, it's for your own good. If you form like a little schedule, first thing I wake up, thank you, Lord, for another day. Please give me the strength to endure all the pain and make it through this day. Once you do that on the beginning of your day, it's going to go a little smoother. Maybe not perfect, but it will go smoother. Stay alert and be persistent in your prayers. And with my Spirit's help, you can learn to be increasingly wide awake to me. This is not an easy assignment because the world is rigged to pull your attention away from me. Excessive noise and visual stimulation make it hard for you to find me in the midst of your moments. Yet I am always there. I'm always near as a whisper. So, whisper of prayer, I'm right there. I can hear it. I am always nearby, as near as a whispered prayer. So people who are in love yearn to be alone together so they can concentrate intently on each other. I, the lover of your soul, I am the lover of your soul, and I long for you to spend time alone with me. When you shut out the distractions to focus on me, I awaken your soul to the joy of my presence. Don't I? This increases your love for me and helps you stay spiritually alert. Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff, huh? When you shut out the distractions and focus on me, I awaken your soul to the joy of my presence. You guys are stoked that I'm here now, right? I awaken your soul to the joy of my presence. That increases your love for me and it helps you stay spiritually alert. Cool. You guys grabbed that one. Good. Now, praying becomes easier now that you're aware of my presence. Praying not only blesses you, but provides an avenue for serving me. So, rejoice that you can now collaborate with me through prayer as I establish my kingdom here on earth. Okay, think that might be it for tonight. Yeah, because I got emergencies to tend to at 2 in the morning, and I won't be done until about 5 in the morning, so I still got a few hours to go. You all, I love you all. Thank you for hanging out this long. It's been a long show. You guys are troopers. Hopefully you're, excuse me. not hopefully, I know now, you guys find peace, courage, strength now. You have a new spirit inside you. You have the heart of a lion that's waking up because your faith has been completed now, you know. And you are looking at this, fascinated by it. You're caught up in the moment. You're caught up. This is me in the clouds. You're caught up with me in the clouds. See, I told you if there was wars and rumors of wars and earthquakes and famines and pestilence, look up. You'll see me coming in the clouds. This is me in the clouds. Okay, this is me coming in the clouds with power, the crown, power and great authority. So, if you see me coming in the clouds with power and great authority, lift up your head. You will be caught up with me in the clouds. Then I will join you in the air or cyberspace of YouTube, where we meet and we do our work. I love you guys. I miss you guys. Why does he always say he misses us? Because I know you all already. It's been a long time since we've seen each other. So long that you don't even remember me. But I remember you. And I miss you. I love you. And until my next show, I will be back. I am already back, and you guys should be able to tell. I love you. Bye.